I'm Abigail Dye, and this is Fox 26 Crime Files. We're starting off with some video that you may have already seen. It went completely viral, and I mean, this story is absolutely ridiculous. Unprovoked attacks on total strangers, all for some TikTok clout. Take a look. A video posted to TikTok and then next door shows 19-year-old Alfred Lewis sucker punching a stranger at Wortham Park in Northwest Houston.
Ooh, man.
The video makes anyone who frequents the place
A little nervous.
Authorities say 18-year-old Kingston Miker took these videos.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's so unfortunate, you know?
Both suspects are now charged. Lewis behind bars, Miker still wanted.
It just saddens my heart because of how the world has changed and how people have just become.
From theft to drinking borax, videos encouraging dangerous behavior aren't rare. TikTok removes millions of videos from their platform monthly. They keep track of why those videos are removed in 3-month increments. Their data shows from July to September of 2022, 6.5% of videos removed were for suicide, self-harm, and dangerous acts. In October, they added a new category just for dangerous acts and challenges, which made up 5% of the videos removed. That number growing to 5.2% from January to March of this year.
We saw this uptick in really dangerous, violent challenges, some challenges that created situations of suicide.
Rania Mankarius, CEO of Crime Stoppers Houston, says this generation of youth wants to be a part of something viral, no matter the consequences. And that's a mindset that needs to change.
We start young, talking about, we understand you're in this space, we understand you're the selfie generation, we get that. But you've got to find value in yourself and place value beyond the trends and value human life and value your place in society and make wiser choices online.
And we've just learned that the man allegedly behind the camera, Kingston Miker, is now in custody. He's also charged with assault and aggravated robbery. Moving on to a real tragedy here. A mother stabbed to death in front of her 8-year-old daughter. It's hard to think of anything worse that a child could witness. 39-year-old Robin Simpson stabbed to death in her own home.
I got into the office this morning about like 9 o'clock, and I got a phone call, and I couldn't believe it.
Antoine Fleming has worked with Simpson for years. He says she's a social worker from Philly who loved her daughter.
She was just a good person. She was more than a social worker. She was more than a mother. She was more than a wife. She was more than a friend. She was just a big part of my family's life, and that just doesn't go away.
Police say early morning on November 1st, Simpson called 911 from her Sunnyside home.
The mother, the wife, called in stating that her husband was having a major crisis, was running around with a knife, thinking about suicidal thoughts.
When police arrived, they found Simpson dead with multiple stab wounds. Her husband, identified by friends as Michael Simpson, had apparently stabbed himself as well. Police say the couple's 8-year-old daughter witnessed all of it.
The little girl said, "Daddy's stabbing mommy."
Fleming says he never saw this tragedy coming.
It just doesn't make sense. It still doesn't seem real.
And wants anyone in a violent relationship to seek help.
It's not worth your life, because once you're gone, and your family members and your friends are here to try to pick up the pieces. Just a horrific story there. Now we're told that that suspect is still in the hospital. On to another horrific stabbing here in Houston, the grisly killing of a pediatrician who just moved here 2 months ago. Natalie He has the story.
I heard that she was screaming. She was sitting at a picnic table.
That picnic table now covered with flowers and stuffed animals as loved ones paid their respects to Dr. Talat Jahan Khan, seen in this picture circulating online, posted by the Muslim American Leadership Alliance. Khan is a pediatrician who had just moved to Houston from Seattle 2 months ago. On Saturday, investigators say she was stabbed repeatedly and killed at the Alley's apartments in Conroe.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's a life.
Conroe police later arrested 24-year-old Miles Joseph Friedrich behind the apartment complex and charged him with Khan's murder. His bond now set at $500,000 in Montgomery County. Investigators say Khan was sitting at that picnic table with her dog, chatting on the phone when Friedrich stabbed her repeatedly repeatedly. Khan's 15-year-old daughter was inside her home and heard the screams, according to Muhammad Ayubi, a family friend.
She was in the apartment in the townhouse, and the mom was like maybe 200, 300 feet away. And this person came and they stabbed him. They stabbed her and they kept stabbing her. And he stopped to check the pulse and then kept stabbing her.
As police work to figure out the suspect's motive for the killing, the Al-Ansar Islamic Center in the Woodlands, where Khan attended, is tightening security over concerns that this could have been racially motivated.
I think it's kind of something that shook up the community a little bit.
The incident now leaving neighbors in this typically quiet community on edge.
Mom is pretty shaken up, yeah. I was supposed to go back to Colorado yesterday, and I'm staying a couple more days just to, kind of suit everything out.
A high-speed chase Halloween night in West Harris County sent 2 troopers and 4 kids to the hospital. Matthew Seedorf has that story.
Oh, hey! Dramatic dashcam video from Tuesday's hectic high-speed chase in West Harris County. Authorities using a pit maneuver near Merchants Way and Mason Road, finally getting the driver to stop. Minutes later, a responding DPS trooper launching into this Amazon 18-wheeler.
I just see a flash of red and blue lights, and I see this Tahoe go under the 18-wheeler.
Frankie Elion, a tow truck driver nearby, able to safely pull the trooper out of the SUV. The cruiser crushed like a can.
Just scary. You never think you're going to run into a situation like this, but thankfully, all my wreckers and myself were always prepared with first aid kits and whatever equipment we need to help.
A responsible adult would stop if they have kids in the car. Clearly that didn't happen today.
Halloween candies scattered near the wreckage, 4 children in the car, some wearing costumes.
They were out trick-or-treating in Fort Bend County, and they lit her up out there, and she decided to run, I guess.
More tow truck drivers helping the injured kids, the driver apprehended.
To save herself, she didn't take into the consideration of her kids or the other adults' life that she was putting in danger.
So far, Texas DPS unable to confirm how and why the chase started or what the adult woman driver was wanted for. Last Friday, another DPS and Harris County Sheriff's pursuit ended with a deadly crash. This only weeks after Houston police changed their policy to only chase criminals wanted for higher-level crimes. What goes into the decision-making of when to pursue a chase and when to call it off?
Most troopers are going to exercise discretion to initiate a pursuit. On every trooper's mind is safety first. Each trooper is well aware of the liability that comes along with a high-speed pursuit.
Officials Wednesday confirming all 4 injured children and 2 deputies have been released from area hospitals. Oh, hey! A high-speed chase that could have ended much worse.
Really shocking video there. Now, just into our newsroom, the woman involved in that chase has been identified as Antoinette Lynn Fisher. She's facing numerous charges, including child endangerment. Meantime, an accused Houston killer caught in El Salvador. A man accused of murdering his wife here in Houston made a run for it, but he didn't get far enough.
It's been chaos.
Oscar Diaz has been living a nightmare since October 1st when his stepdad, Ever Navarrete, is accused of killing his mom, Carly Navarrete.
It's been hard on my kids because they had an unbreakable bond with their grandmother.
Police say Ever and Carly were in the midst of a divorce when he tracked her down to her new home. Police say a family member witnessed Ever shoot Carly and that Ever even called his children after doing so.
When I got the first call of him telling me that he killed her.
Carly Navarrete shares a name with her mom. She's been terrified of what her dad might do.
If he did this to my mom, he can break down the door and come and hurt us,
She was relieved to get this photo from police in El Salvador, who arrested Ever for resisting arrest on October 17th, but disappointed to find out that no red notice had been filed in the murder case, meaning El Salvador couldn't hold Ever very long.
A red notice is a formal communication with Interpol that states that this is an internationally wanted fugitive.
Assistant District Attorney Matthew McGill says his office has been working with the sheriff's office to get the paperwork in. And Monday,
the district attorney's office was able to file the paperwork to have a red notice formally issued in this case.
There's no guarantee this means Ever will stay behind bars until extradition. The next steps are up to Interpol and the El Salvador authorities.
The main goal is to get him apprehended.
He deserves to spend the rest of his life in jail.
Now, we have learned that the red notice has officially been issued, and the El Salvadorian authorities will have to hold Ever for 2 months while the extradition efforts move forward. That's it for this week's Fox 26 Crime Files. I'm Abigail Dye. We'll see you next time.